Hi there. Thanks for joining me on this latest day of adventure. I certainly hope you've enjoyed the journeys we've taken together so far. Let's see if you can guess where we're headed today based on these one-word hints. Trails, animal exhibits, aviary, planetarium. Think you've got it? If you guessed Calusa Nature Center and Planetarium, you'd be correct. This interactive natural museum and wildlife sanctuary sit inside 105 acres of protected green space, right smack dab in the middle of Fort Myers. Within moments of pulling onto the property, you are transported from a world of traffic and concrete to a space that's brimming with biodiversity.
So here at Calusa Nature Center, we are the largest green space in the city of Fort Myers. We encourage all families to come out, walk our nature trails, check out our wildlife sanctuary. We do house rehabilitated and injured or orphaned wildlife here. So we have our birds of prey aviary that debuted in 2019. We have skunks and possums. We have a reptile room, and families can come out. They can hold and touch a baby gator. They can hold snakes. They can check out Charlie the Chameleon.
It's the Flintstones meets nature. Fred and Wilma are the stars of the show.
Animal shows are a fun time. We do them twice a day at 11 and 1:15, and we bring out live animals, and we educate you as long as being a little bit more interactive and fun. We want the kids to be engaged. We want all members of the community to actually take away something. We just try to keep it as interactive as possible. Touching a snake and touching a baby gator, these things aren't going to hurt you as long as you know how to respect wildlife and nature.
This museum is filled with various exhibits, offering visitors a glimpse of the present and the past. It's all part of the interactive experience.
So I've found that a lot of kids, they always have to be touching something. They're always running around, and then they finally get engaged when they actually have something in their hands. So we have real fossils that we've collected all over Southwest Florida. They can come and they can touch those. We have areas where they can actually dig, find fossils. It's a little sand area, which I think is a lot of fun. And then coming out on the trails, we encourage everybody to touch and to feel comfortable with the unknown. For the kids to come out and be engaged, we just try to keep it as interactive as possible.
And be sure to look up, because there's an entire galaxy of fun awaiting you in Southwest Florida's only planetarium.
It's the only planetarium between Miami and Bradenton, and it's a 44-foot dome, 360 degrees. We have a brand new projector system in there, a brand new sound system. We have shows from Europe that have come, we feature here. And along with that, sometimes we do laser shows quarterly, which are a bunch of fun. We go through star walks, which kind of detail all the constellations that you would be able to see in the night sky, and we always do it day to day. So every day the sky changes, so with those star walks you can actually see all the different constellations, how they would change from morning to night.
Before you decide to go for one of those beautiful star walks, there's plenty to experience in the foyer. And get this, you can even poke a meteorite that came from the red planet. Pretty cool, right? As Caitlin mentioned earlier, the Calusa Nature Center is also a rescue sanctuary for animals. Here, you can get to meet some of the beautiful feathered friends in the aviary. Hawks, owls, vultures, and you'll even see the majesty of one of our country's prominent symbols. There's also this aviary at Calusa Nature Center, one where you'll get up close and personal with the many unique and colorful species of butterflies found here in our state. I'll touch on a fact I learned here shortly. Oh yeah, and be sure to wear your closed-toed shoes, because there are several beautiful nature walks that await you at the Calusa Nature Center.
We do have 3 trails. We have the Pine Loop Trail. It's a third of a mile. It's totally shelled, so you can take baby strollers and wheelchairs out if you'd like. The Wildlands Trail is 1 mile and a third. It will take you about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how fast you walk, and it takes you through a oak hammock, and it takes you through the pine flatwoods. Our third nature trail is our Cypress Boardwalk, which is unfortunately closed at the moment. It was destroyed by Irma, but we did receive a grant through a private donor. It's a private foundation for $120,000, and what we're working on is asking the city for some help, as well as doing our own fundraising efforts and making sure that we can match that grant and redo this boardwalk, because it takes you through the cypress swamp, and that's a whole different ecosystem. Our 105 acres has almost all of the different ecosystems that you would find in Florida. We have oak hammocks, we have the pine flatwoods in the uplands, we have the cypress swamp, and unfortunately now we're growing some type of invasive forest of melaleuca, but it's still something that is important to educate people on. These melaleuca trees are terrible, and we can show you an entire forest of them sitting on our property. So I think it's awesome.
As you've figured out by now, similar to our trip to the Sloop Reserve, the major theme at Calusa Nature Center is education. I'm actually pretty excited to share with you a few of the things that I learned during my visit. Billy here, he's 40 years old as of the making of this video, but there's a pretty good chance that he'll live for another century. The zebra longwing. Does that sound familiar? If you didn't know, something that I learned is that it's the official state butterfly of Florida. Have you ever seen a ground sloth? Probably not, since they're extinct. But this painting right here depicts what they would have looked like out of a second-story window. The ground sloth was one huge animal. Now, all of this education is really great, but unfortunately, it's not free. Caitlin hopes that through due diligence and, most importantly, awareness, the Calusa Nature Center will educate and influence many generations to come.
With our limited budget, with our our small staff on part-time hours, it's proving difficult, but they wouldn't work here if they didn't want to, and I know that they love it, and I know that we have built such a strong bond and community through our staff that even though it can be challenging having everyone part-time, we're getting through it. We've had people now walking through the doors, oh, I thought you guys were closed, I haven't been here in 20, 30 years. They forget that we're here, and they forget that we're providing a service to the community for education, for our environment. Southwest Florida has a unique ecosystem. It's unlike any other in the entire world. So what I want people to do is come back out and realize that we're still here, we're thriving, and we're giving the community an opportunity to reconnect with nature and to find something that they want to protect and serve. We love when people come and volunteer. It really gives them another level of engagement, and they're back out in nature. They're helping clean our trails. They're helping to refurbish areas that haven't been cleaned in years, just due to just having a small staff and a limited budget. So having volunteers, they're our lifeblood.
I want to personally thank you for joining Caitlin and our wonderful animal friends today. Be sure to read more about the Calusa Nature Center and Planetarium by visiting their website at calusanature.org. If you're up for it, you can also check out my previous travels and suggest an idea for my next trip at wayfm.com. Finally, you're also invited to follow us on Instagram and Facebook so you don't miss out on any of the fun stuff that's happening here in our area. Take care, and we'll see you soon.